This time, it isn't me who wants a new car. Right, so this is a 2002 Holden Jackaroo. It's Adam's, and Adam is wanting to upgrade and get a better car. Now he's got this and another four-wheel drive. He wants these both up and running to sell them so he can combine the money from them to buy an even nicer car. Now, this one has got an issue at the moment. When you start it, it will stop. Not that the brakes lock on or anything like that. It will just randomly die, or idle just fine, it will randomly die. These things are known, these motors are known for having oil pressure related issues. I'm hoping it's something simple like replacing the oil pressure sensor on the oil rail pressure. I'm hoping it's something simple like replacing the oil pressure sensor. So we're going to try that. However, we need to do a bit of cleanup. It's got also quite a bit of an oil leak underneath. I think it's just the pan, but right now it's too much of a mess to tell. Yeah, so first of all, let's get it running. That'll be the first thing. Alright. To address that. Damn, she's leaking oil everywhere. Holy. God damn. I'll be honest with you, I haven't looked at this engine bay. When I said yes, I'll look at it. It's a very oily engine. Oh God. I think this is going to be quite a tear down actually. Oh, what did I agree to? What did I agree to? Whilst I'll sit here and wallow in my life decisions, why don't we talk about this Holden Jackaroo? Now the Jackaroo came out with a V6 petrol, or what we've got here, which is a 4JX1, a 3-litre turbo diesel 4-cylinder, which is actually an Isuzu motor, which is what this car is. This is just a rebadged Isuzu sold as a Holden here in Australia. And it's got, specifically in this diesel, some really, really weird engine-related quirks. Diesels. I just took off one pipe. 3 different spanners just to take this off. Right. Oh crap, man. Oil. So we are back now in full force. I've given the engine bay a bit of a clean up just so I can work in there and not be absolutely covered in garbage. I'm sure I will be, but hopefully it's a little bit nicer now. We're going to take the rocker cover off because the gasket there is leaking, and underneath it might be the culprit of one of our issues, the oil rail pressure sensor, which is what I just threw away just there. So we'll replace that while we're under it. Hopefully then that tidies everything up. It looks like that's our main oil leak. We might have another one at the sump and then potentially at the rear main. It's a bit hard to see, so I've cleaned all that area up. Hopefully now it's all looking nice and pretty. When we reassemble, we're gonna also put a throttle position sensor back on there because we've taken the throttle body off as well, so we might as well give that a bit of a birthday when we clean it up. hopefully we're onto a winner from there. So let's take the oil, not the oil pressure. So let's take the rocker cover off.
This sensor we're trying to replace is a part of the injector system, which is really the crux of this motor. So it's a strong motor and it will last forever as long as you maintain it. The biggest issue though is instead of using a conventional injector system, whether it be electronic or mechanical, Isuzu decided to use hydraulics or oil pressure, which is fine, except it's made the motor super sensitive to the grade of oil and to the quantity of oil that is actually in the motor. Along with that, if a sensor happens to go, or an O-ring happens to go, or you lose oil pressure in this little high pressure oil rail, the car doesn't work. And that doesn't mean the car goes into limp mode, that just means the car doesn't work at all.
So, in there is our oil rail pressure sensor. It's a bit more buried than I would have liked, but it looks like I can still get to it. It doesn't look bad in there. Everything looks okay. It's a bit black, but you know, diesel things. It looks okay, everything looks happy. So I'll replace the sensor, reseal the gasket. Hopefully it works right after that. It's a really weird system this thing uses, but anyway. How the f*** I get this thing out? Spin! Spin, you oily bastard. Jesus. Right. That was a nightmare. New sensors in there. Had to modify a tool to do it. Now, we should be able to reassemble.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We've assembled as much as we can at the moment. We're now held up on one thing, which is this, the little throttle body. I don't have a gasket for it. I don't have a replacement gasket. We need one, otherwise we're going to have issues. So we're going to give it a clean up and then we're going to make up a gasket. Hopefully it seals just fine. It should do. We've got some gasket paper. We'll make it work. It should be all right. So, mess, but we're working through it. This here is our throttle position sensor. That side's the actual throttle cable or the drive-by wire whole setup there. So we're not going to touch that. We know that works, or at least we think we do. We're going to replace that. So we're going to pull that apart, give it a clean, and then we'll cut up some gasket paper, make sure it looks all pretty, and then we'll be golden.
What I'm doing here isn't actually ideal. When I first got the car, it had no fault codes. It just had this idle related issue, which I'm now trying to resolve but have very little to go off of. And replacing multiple sensors and fixing multiple oil leaks isn't the best way to go about it, because we won't know if the problem's been fixed and what has fixed it if it has been. But we're going to persist anyway, because ultimately one of these sensors will eventually go, and it's worth replacing them while we're all pulling this area of the car apart. And the oil leaks, well, they need to be fixed regardless.
Got this whole farm to play on. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to try and start it. I haven't done an oil change. It's probably got a little bit too much oil in, which I know these things are a bit upset about, but I have already lost some oil from getting up into that oil high pressure system, the oil rail system that's related to the injectors. Once it fills that up, we should be okay. And it's gonna have a hissy fit until that is filled up. So I think we give it a shot, we try and start it, coolant and everything looks right. So, let's see how we go. All right. I don't know why it bounces like that. I wonder if it's like a crank angle sensor or something. See how it's like bouncing around at lower RPMs? It's not dying anymore, but it's bouncing around. And it's intermittent. If we can turn AC on, because it is toasty out there. So it has been a couple of days. I've spoken to a mechanic friend of mine about it, having issues maintaining idle RPM, I suppose. He reckons I need to reteach it. So he reckons because we've replaced the throttle position sensor and now it's getting accurate readings, we need to reteach the ECU, presumably throttle position and how to maintain it. Now, you'd usually do that by plugging into the ECU and teaching it manually or resetting it. We can't do that. We're going to hope that it relearns itself by disconnecting the batteries and leaving it to do its minute for a while. So we'll disconnect the batteries, leave it for probably about half an hour, reconnect it, start it up, let it idle for say 10 minutes, take her for a spin, see how she feels after that, see if it's still happening. Whilst we're doing that, we're going to do an oil change on it because the oil in there is old, very black, diesel things, and it's long overdue for a service. This hasn't been on the road for a couple of years now, so it's long overdue. While we're down doing the oil change as well, actually, we're going to replace the sump gasket. The sump's leaking a lot. I thought it was coming from the rear main, but it's not. It's definitely coming from the sump. There may be something else coming from the rear main, don't know. But the sump's definitely leaking a lot at the moment. And unfortunately, it's not a gasket that we can just replace. So at the moment, when you look down underneath there, it's just full of goo. Like it's just been, gasket maker up. Which is a bit crappy, but whatever. You can absolutely do that. I've been looking around for gaskets for these things. You can't find them. People recommend what you actually do is use gasket maker, which is, a bit less than desirable, but we'll get it done and hopefully we'll do it better than the last guy so it doesn't leak.
Oh, what a shot! Free oil pan.
Who else can say it's going hard enough and leaking oil? We should have done outside. There we go.
So it's a time. This video has been full of me not being able to speak. I've lost brain cells working on this Jackaroo. Some time has passed. Adam came, put some new tyres on his car and left and took the Jackaroo. And I haven't heard back since. So either he died, broke down without reception, or it's working and we fixed it, which is tremendous. So I'm going to go with that one. And then now we've got room in the shed so we can start on the project that I want to start on, which we'll be getting to. Hoping it's something as simple as replacing the pressure meter on the, not meter, what do you call them? The pressure gauge? The pressure, what are they called? The pressure sender? I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. I really can't. I'm hoping it's something simple like replacing the pressure sender switch. I can't remember the name of it. Pressure sensor, that's it. I'm hoping it's something simple like replacing the oil pressure sensor